Well, good Saturday morning and greetings from Radio Wasteland here in Midland, Michigan. We are now into week number 2 with our new format. I see the viewers are jumping way up there as well. So we're going to say good morning to a couple of folks. Chuck, hey, good morning to you. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Lots and lots to cover today. So we're going to jump right into it. As I mentioned, if you caught the little teaser ahead of time, we had a late shipment show up yesterday with some bootlegs. So we will get to those in just a couple of minutes. Good morning, Jeff, and good morning, Mr. Silkman. How the heck are you guys? We also had something I forgot, so stick around. You don't want to miss these bootlegs coming up in a little bit. But first, I wanted to do this for a couple of reasons. One, because this gentleman is a good friend and has been for quite some time. And secondly, we geek out together about technology a lot. And thirdly, I wanted to test this system out as we move forward. So ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome to our Radio Wasteland, good morning, Mr. Mike Avery. Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm wonderful, but it sure seems strange to be on the other side of this whole thing.
It does. You are essentially, I would almost venture to say, the king of crossover media here in the mid-Michigan area, if not the state, both traditional media with your radio show and a Facebook page and following on YouTube of how many thousands?
Oh, YouTube is pretty small. I've only got, I think, 4,000.
Oh, gee, there we go. Pat says good morning there. And so, but you have kind of built this up over time, and the Facebook page especially has got 20 some odd thousand folks, I think.
Facebook page has almost 80,000.
80,000. I see, shows that how much I pay attention. I think I'm still a
Kevin,
a shadow admin on there, aren't I?
I see Kevin Prophet's here with us. I see Kevin over on my Facebook page all the time too.
Well, cool. Hey, so you're seeing these. But I asked Mike, it was actually, we talked way earlier in the year about different ways to reach folks, and he recommended this StreamYard, which we're using. And with everything that was going on between the store closures and the holiday busyness here, I kind of put that off until the new year. And I called him back up and said, Mike, what gives? What do we do here? So this is StreamYard, and you use this not just weekly, but every time, a couple times a week and more, don't you?
Actually, I use StreamYard for my Wednesday night lives here from my studio at the house. I've used it for my Wednesday morning shows from the radio studio, but not on a consistent basis. I'm trying to think of the reason it was. I had some kind of a technical glitch, and I kind of let it fall by the wayside. But I don't know, Jim. I think back to the days of what do they call it? Back to the day or whatever.
Yeah.
When we had to have a big camera up here and an umbilical cord and a recorder over here.
Yep.
And it didn't get the quality of video that we're looking at right now through laptops and phones. I think for geeks like us, there's never been a better time to be out here right now.
There isn't. And you and I have known each other for a long time. I was thinking back at how we met. And do you remember that at all? How we ended up working together for a while? I didn't mean to throw you on the spot with this, but
remind me.
It was shortly after I moved down from the UP. Kim and I got down here, and I was working in Midland at a video production house, and we met through a mutual friend because you needed some help with the TV show because it was growing. That mutual friend was Rick Mixter. He's got a more name drops on my part, but he's got a very successful dive and underwater channel going. Check him out when you get a chance as well.
Yeah, I do remember that now, and we had a good run, and the TV show was wonderful. But I'm actually more excited about the radio show, the podcast, the social media stuff now and it's a lot easier than the TV show ever was too. You know how much work went into that.
Oh, I do. And it was a lot of work going in. But you're right. This is amazing that we're able to do this, and especially through the phones. And, I don't mean to steer too far away from music since this is the record show kick, but this is where we're kind of heading with this. And I think that this is a great way to do it. And I thank you very much for steering me in this direction and coming on to help me test this out with this new system.
Well, I think it looks good, Jim. I'm impressed with what you're doing. And the thing about technology is it's like hitting a moving target, right? It's like, how do you stay up to date with the latest stuff? It's almost impossible. So all we old guys can do is just kind of bring up the rear and make sure we're still relevant. And you're doing a great job.
You have, Chuck says, both YouTube and Facebook going at the same time. The YouTube version is a little bit ahead of Facebook. Interesting. So, but yeah, I mean, for years and years, it feels like I was the one kind of saying, hey, Mike, maybe you should do a website. And hey, Mike, there's this thing called Facebook. Maybe
Oh,
we should try that out.
Look what I just did. Look what I just
see
did.
that. Mike tinkered with it, and it pulled that off for just a second, but he can still hear us, and we can still hear him.
I should be back.
You are back, indeed. There we go. And look who's chiming in now. Katie says, can you believe that you've known each other so long? I've grown up and now do the news before Mike's Sunday show. That's right.
Tell me more about that.
Katie is working at WILS in Lansing doing afternoon news now.
So, I didn't know that.
It started just this week, I believe, right, Kato? So yeah, we've been together so long on this that Katie has gone from being a little tiny baby girl all the way up to her own adulting, as she likes to say.
That is very cool. Congrats, kiddo.
So Jen says good morning. But anyway, yeah, it feels like I was always kind of the one saying, Mike, let's do a website. Mike, check out this Facebook thing. And I'm sorry for that, by the way. And now you're the one advising me on how to go forward with these.
I remember you saying, hey, you got to do something on the internet. I think this internet's going to be a big deal.
Little did we know back then. Yeah, I think the first outdoor magazine website was around 1998-ish. Does that sound right?
It does. It does. Wow.
And it's gone through lots of incarnations, and you're running it and doing a great job with that. So, but for all of that, I thank you. And maybe you can, there's the shameless plug, share this back at some point to your multitudes of followers to get some info for us going here.
Wonderful. Yeah. Hey, that's what it's all about.
So musically, really quick, as I remember, you're a big fan of a lot of the classics. We also mastered the one earpiece early on with the old iPod, so you get one in the ear listening to music and the other listening in the blind while you're sitting
yes,
there.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
I don't want to give away the secrets, but I think you used to listen to Floyd a lot, right?
There's something about Pink Floyd that just absolutely soothes my soul and relaxes me and takes me to a different place. I'm a big Neil Young fan. I think the guy is an absolute musical genius. He's pretty weird, but he's a musical genius. I like blues. I like some of the new stuff. There was a guy, actually, I saw him from On The Voice, and I'm ashamed to say that, but his name is Laith El-Sadi. He's a Michigan guy, and he is an outstanding blues guitarist, and I have followed him ever since The Voice now. I've seen him a few times in concert here in Michigan. So yeah, the new stuff you can have. The old stuff, I'll take it.
You're digging it. Well, I've got my fingers in both of them at least. So.
No country.
Well, I'm sticking with the Rush and the Floyd stuff as well. So, okay. Well, looks like we're losing, and I know you need to get going, and I do need to get to some records. And I can see Kim at home if she's watching. She's giving us the wrap up sign, like any good producer will do at that point. So, Mike, thank you very much. Where can folks find you if they want to check you out online?
The website, MikeAveryOutdoors.com. From there, you can get to all the social media stuff.
You do Facebook, you do the YouTube, you do
Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. I even played around with TikTok and decided I'm too old for TikTok.
We talked about that. In order to do TikTok, you've got to dance a little bit, don't you? And I don't think anybody wants to see either of us do that.
No.
All right, Mike. Well, thank you very much for being here with us this morning on the Radio Wasteland show. And as always, take care, and we will talk to you later, my friend.
My pleasure. Look forward to talking to you soon.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Okay, well, that was a ton of fun. Thank you guys for sticking through as we kind of work out some bugs on this. But thanks again to Mike for sharing that information and helping out with us here. Now, I want to get going here. Gary says good morning, and we're trying to keep up with the comments. So thank you guys again for being here. A few minutes left, and I've got a lot of records to cover. If you didn't catch the video yesterday, there was a lot of soundtracks. Holy cow, we had a lot of high dollar stuff going in yesterday, and there still is a lot of great vintage vinyl and some new vinyl in there as well. I need to apologize. One of the things I forgot to talk about yesterday was it was actually here, and it got set aside because it was too large for the shelf at the moment. But we did get this brand new release of Layla, Derek and the Dominoes, Layla and Other Assorted Love Songs. This is the 50th anniversary box set of that. And I should have had this out yesterday, and I apologize for that. But this album is the 50th anniversary. It's a half-speed master of the vinyl edition, which includes the original album. And I'm sure inside the box, this is the personal collection, but I'm sure inside the box, you're going to get that original cover artwork in there as well. But this is a, let's see, quadruple. It's a 4 LP set. Holy cow, bonus material cut. So it's got the original double LP half-speed mastered album, bonus materials from sessions and recording sessions. Side 2 of the bonus material is live stuff cut on the Johnny Cash TV show. And then there are some other LP bonus materials from different sessions and live recordings from out Clapton's career. So really cool thing we've got in stock now, and I meant to get to that yesterday. Other highlights from yesterday, it's the Start Your Ear Off Right campaign from Rhino. We do have a couple copies left of the Talking Heads Speaking in Tongues on blue vinyl, and the Cars Shake It Up on neon green. There was another Talking Heads release. The name of this band is, we've got some more of those coming. We're sold out at the moment. Other recent releases that hit, excuse me, we've got the music on vinyl version of Alanis Morissette's Havoc and Bright Lights on 180 gram audiophile vinyl and turquoise color, limited edition of 2000. Big spin on this. We finally managed to get a couple more copies of the Cowboy Bebop soundtrack on Swordfish 2 and Red Tail edition. Hot go on this. It's a lot of older jazz. Look it up if you're a fan of that, but this is music that was used in the animated series Cowboy Bebop. These things have, we got 3 more somehow, and not certain how, but it turned out well for us that we nailed some more. And I think we've got 2 of these left. Highly collectible record. Okay, other recent releases we did get. Mike and I were talking about Floyd. We got a couple more copies of the Roger Waters Pros and Cons of New York. Classic 1985 broadcast, Volume 1, Volume 2. Lots of great live stuff from Waters. Touches on his solo stuff, early Floyd and mid Floyd in there as well. Now, one of the other things that I wanted to mention, as I'm running real close on time, is that we had a late shipment of our bootlegs show up yesterday after the video was well in your hands. So I wanted to touch on them really quickly and get them out on the shelf. Speaking more of Floyd, we got another copy of Pink Floyd Dark Side Over London. This is a live boot recorded in October of 1994, so it's post-Waters, but it has got pretty much the entire Dark Side of the Moon performed live at this concert. Got one of these in the personal collection. Sounds phenomenal. Okay, now to the biggies, and I know it's going to be a little bit of a jump on these. We got a copy of Van Halen Balance. This is not a first pressing original, which would be in the triple digits, oddly enough. Katie, anime. She says I'm cute. Animated series Cowboy Bebop. Thanks, Katie. Not an original pressing, which would be in the triple digits, but a Eastern European bootleg. One of the things you can do is trust Eastern European bootleggers, but they did a decent job with this. It's got a cool inner sleeve, and even better, it is on orange vinyl. So we're showing that off here for our thumbnail. We're going to give this a listen to see if the audio quality is good, because like I said before, if there's one thing you can trust, it's Eastern European vinyl bootleggers. Also in that batch, an AC/DC No Stop Signs, a Motley Crue Generation Swine. Go figure, we got one of these pulled up, a double LP on that one. Metallica, this is a performance, the Metallica So What limited edition on clear vinyl, performing at 1994's Woodstock, so that's the broadcast. Not sure what the quality is on that one. A Pearl Jam Hollywood Palladium and a Stone Temple Pilots MTV Unplugged. We got another couple copies of the Beck Mellow Gold, and this is on gold colored vinyl. I believe it doesn't say for sure, but we opened one of these up in the last batch and it's gold colored vinyl, so cool stuff. We also got a Smashing Pumpkins Shamrock Live in Chicago 1993, and I'm pretty excited about this one. This one is a cool one. Stevie Ray Vaughan, The Show, his Alpine Valley Music Theater, 25th of August in 1990. That is the final show that Stevie Ray Vaughan performed before he was tragically killed in the helicopter crash. I was working news that night at a small AM radio station in Marquette, much like what Katie says she's working now there too. But I was doing news, and we had the old ticker system come through with the printer hooked up to the Associated Press, and we got the news flash that there had been a helicopter crash in Wisconsin, and then shortly thereafter they confirmed that Stevie Ray Vaughan had died in that crash. So it was kind of an odd night, and I remember working it and breaking that news out to our folks. It was a AM talk station, so we didn't play a lot of music, but I think I may have snuck a tune or two in that night. Okay, that is it. We're going to wrap it up and get the doors open. I think we got a couple of people waiting outside to get in. Do not forget, as we look back here, the Jack and Meg Standee, the White Stripes Third Man records that we got to promote the Greatest Hits LP. We are going to give that thing away on Wednesday evening at 6 o'clock. No purchase is necessary. You'll see that Jack's wearing a little birthday hat. Meg's keeps falling off. But coming up this Wednesday, the 13th of January, is Radio Wasteland's 4th birthday. We have been here for you now for 4 years, and we still hear. I didn't know Midland had a record store. We're working on that, so we'll see what happens. Okay, so stop in. You fill out a little entry slip. No purchase necessary. We're not going to sell your information to anybody, but please, you can enter as often as you like, but just once a day. So you got to stop in every day to put in that to do that. Okay, so a couple of quick things here. Lynn up in the UP, you do the Smashing Pumpkins up north. We can think of it like that. Alpine Valley, Bill knew exactly what we were talking about on that. Just for the squirrels down there. And you get the balloon. Yes, you get the balloon too. We're going to give that balloon out with you. So stop in, register for that. Pick that up. I think there was a couple of other things we'll talk about, but we can save that for next week because we are past time. So once again, thank you all for being here. We're going to continue to refine this new format and get the info out. And I think we're getting the hang of it. So tell you what, stop on by and visit us. Radio Wasteland is at 716 George Street, just north of downtown Midland. We will be open from right now, well, depending on when you're watching this, but from 10 a.m.-ish now until 6 p.m. today, Saturday, from noon to 5 tomorrow, Sunday, closed again on Monday and Tuesday, and we are back in our regular go-round at that point. So stop by and see us. Visit us on Facebook. Like us on Facebook. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll get that up here in a little bit. We're kicking that out, and as the more folks we can get to subscribe, the more cool stuff we will be able to do. So share us, like us, subscribe, do all that good internet-y thingies that you guys do. So until next week, thank you guys very much for being here. You have a great one, and we will talk to you next time from Radio Wasteland Records. Thanks.